Greetings and welcome to another episode of Bermuda's Feel Good Early Morning Show. Good day, Bermuda. Supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Crew alongside Jackie Lambert, and we want to thank you for getting up bright and early with us on this Thursday, aka Jackie and I's Friday. Jack, how are you feeling? Our weekend is almost here.
I am so excited. Like, I woke up and I'm tired, but I was just like, my best friend comes today. My best friend comes today. I'm like, it's insane. Like, I don't know. Like, you guys know how it's hard.
I know it's funny. I don't know because I follow Jess on, for those I don't know, Jackie's best friend's name's Jess. And I follow her on social media, and I feel like I had saw her post something where I felt like she was her. And that's why when I said backstage, it was just back. Like she was just her. Like, so it wasn't, obviously she wasn't her. I just saw her post something that made me think she was her. And I'm like, oh, so she wasn't her.
No, that was a throwback. It was a friend's birthday party 3 years ago. So it's nice to know I look the same as 3 years ago. Thanks. Sometimes I'm myself and be like, girl, you need to drink some more water, sign up for Botox special.
Not a Botox special. You look beautiful. You look fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Nonetheless. As you can see, Jackie and I are ready to bring some feel good vibes today, and we're going to start our episode off as we do now with our new vibe. We have a trend report that we're going to talk about. Before we get into it, though, we do want to say good morning to Karen Simmons. Thank you so much for joining us. And yes, Jason Shirley, it is a new intro. Jack and I were just joking backstage how long it is. I'll say. She was like, "Well, you made it." I said, "You're right."
I'm like, how are you going to complain about your work? Like, this is your brilliance in front of us. I like it.
It's not a complaint, but it's like, you forget like the timing. So you're like, oh, wait, we gotta move because it's actually long enough. All right, trend report, Jack. This is not really a trending topic per se, but it's definitely a trend that Jackie and I like to do on this show. We talk about our weekend plans. So, Jack, what do you have planned for the weekend? As we told the audience, our weekend starts now because we don't have a live show on Fridays. So, what are you getting into?
Okay, so free plugs for everybody.
Love it.
Okay, so on Thursdays, Bay has Thirsty Thursday, so I'm gonna slip down there with my bestie, and we're gonna have a few toddies. I might even take. I think they have a DJ. I want to say it's oh my god, DJ Fresh Kid.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I'm gonna go down there. I might steal the mic and be like,
can't take our nowhere.
You know, my dream is to be an MC, so I'm gonna see if you
let me. You must be a rapper. I feel like.
And it's gonna be like 6 of us. All right, single ladies, put your hands in the air. It's gonna be like one person, and then the rest.
You know, it's gonna be funny. All of you can put your hands up.
It's just me. I'm the only single person in the crew.
Okay.
So, like, I'm gonna be the MC. I'm gonna be like, all right, single ladies, put your hands in the air. And it's gonna be me. I'm like, okay, me by myself. All right. And then so that's Thursday. Friday, I have tomorrow night. I have a birthday party for DJ Hershey.
Hey.
I think it's a birthday party. Or maybe we're
I hope so. You just said it's a birthday party.
We're gonna go to his house and wake him up and drag him out. I don't know, whichever. He usually drags other people out for their birthdays. So yes. I just know that his birthday's this weekend. So I'm assuming that he's happy houring somewhere, and I'm gonna go craft that.
Hey.
And I don't know what I'm doing Saturday.
Too far in advance.
I thought that I had plans for Saturday, and apparently I don't.
I just canceled those plans on her.
So I'm just like, I think I'm gonna go sleep early on Thursday because Sunday fun day is a must.
It is a must. If you're just joining us, go ahead and let us know what plans you have for the weekend. Let us know in the comments. Jackie just shared what she is getting into. If you're not aware, Jackie and I's weekend starts now after this show because we do not have shows live on Fridays. And I'll go ahead and get into my Sunday plans, my weekend plans, because they actually changed. They were contingent on last night's FA Cup match, and unfortunately, my team did not make it to the next round. They played a hard, well-fought game. Honestly, at the last minute of the match, Somerset came back with the extra goal, and it definitely. I feel a little sad for them because they put their all into that match. It's the first time they played a Premier team this entire season, so. They definitely held their end. So I don't have plans on Sunday. So there's that. Tonight, brushes and balloons at the Guild Lounge for International Women's Day. We're having International Women's Weekend. So tonight that kicks off with brushes and balloons. Tomorrow we have ladies night happy hour. I don't know if I'll make it down there though, because I'm sleep deprived. I'm definitely sleep dead. But instead of tennis this week, I do have pole dancing back this week. So Saturday I will be doing my pole dance class, and I'm excited. It got pushed back an hour, so I'm gonna be well rested come Saturday.
I miss your videos, girl.
I miss my videos too, so I'm definitely excited to get back because I haven't worked out since the move, and I feel like the move itself was working out, like moving all the stuff. But I haven't done any targeted exercise. And actually, today's guest is actually my massage therapist post pool. So I injured myself. I think I told everyone that I injured my muscle, and we all came to the conclusion that it was overstretched hamstring. It was a hamstring issue. When I went to my massage therapist, she said it's probably an overstretched hamstring, probably just stretched your muscle a little too much. And she sorted me out. We fixed that little issue really fast. Well, my body healed itself really fast. And then she says now she's like my shoulder therapist because my shoulder hurts.
I love a good massage, honestly. I'm that person that will stand next to you or sit next to you if we're chilling, like say at a house or something, and I just be like, oh, your hand is so pretty. Put your thumb right here. Put your thumb right here. Yep, that's fine. And I'm like, no, push and massage. Yep, there you go. Because I can't get it, and I need that pressure to move it. So
what I love is that you said, yeah, thumb is so pretty. Put it right here. What's this pretty thumb have to do with anything?
I don't know. I feel like people are more inclined to do stuff after a compliment. I'm a swindler.
You definitely are. So I want to come to the audience because it looks like we have some people with some plans. So Karen Simmons says she's doing the city scavenger hunt on Friday night. I've actually seen the promo for this, and it looks like it's going to be really interesting. If anyone else is doing the scavenger hunt, let us know in the comments. And if you're looking for something to do on Friday night, the city scavenger hunt looks like it's definitely going to be a vibe, because I think the city events have been like really interesting. Like they're not your typical events, which I love because people need something else to do.
I don't know why I thought that happened already.
I thought it was later, to be honest. I didn't realize it was this. Like I didn't realize it was this weekend. I really thought it was like maybe next week because I wanted to go. But Karen, you have to let us know next week how the scavenger hunt was, if your team won, because I feel like it's a race type of thing. I feel like she says it's actually sold out, so you can't go Friday. Is it? What other days of the week is it? Because I feel like it's Friday and Saturday maybe. So maybe you can go on Saturday. But I really feel like this would be a fun thing to do. We have to keep our eyes out for the next one, because you and I would love this.
A scavenger hunt. Love a scavenger hunt. One time, it was me and a friend. Well, you know Akil, Daryl, and I were in a car together doing a scavenger hunt for a birthday, and it was the funniest person to do scavenger hunts with, because he will block, like if it's in a car, he will block everybody so they can't drive in, and then run up
and then wait to be. I love it.
People will get embarrassed, and I'm just like, I don't know what to tell you.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
That is hilarious. So Jason says Jax forgot our BAA combo.
Sorry, did I forget our BAA combo? Because I told you.
No.
Right.
I don't know what the BAA combo was, though.
Whose birthday is today?
Oh, yes. I didn't know that was the BAA combo. You just told me this is birthday. So I said, okay, we got to tell Jason. You got to sing happy birthday to Jason. They don't want to share. That would be our feel good vibe of the day, Jason. Just in case you were wondering, Jackie is going to sing you happy birthday later on.
Nice.
Well, you just said that.
Not you. He did. Because I
was like, wait, huh? You just said so. It says birthday. I was like, I ain't supposed to answer. Aisha plays Jack.
I'm sending the kids to my daddy so I can finish my assignments, because once I hand them in, I'll be done with college. Congratulations! Huge. This is
huge.
We don't have confetti. We don't have this.
We don't have confetti. We have sound effects, so we just.
That's more like.
Exactly. And coming back to the scavenger hunt as we wrap up our trend report, Karen Simmons says Saturday is still open and it is a race. The city has their calendar events open out and open air movies are coming to an end soon. Lots of great free events. I didn't realize that they ended in the spring, but that makes sense because it's kind of like a spring type of situation. Maybe we should go check out one of their movies, Jack.
Yeah.
We gotta see what events they have coming up so we can get, because we did the walking tour with the town crier and that was a vibe. So we definitely need to check out their events to see what else they have coming up. On that note, Jackie and I are gonna take a quick commercial break and then we're gonna bring in our guest of the day, Tenae Hassell. She's a massage therapist, so we're gonna be talking about all things massage therapy. And for those of you that are athletes, if you're a fitness junkie, or if you just need an excuse to take care of yourself, don't worry. Tenae has got you. We're gonna get into all of that when we come back after this commercial break.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza's and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tupu alongside Jackie Lambert. If you're just joining us, please take a minute to share today's episode. Whether you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, wherever you're watching, go ahead and share it because today we are about to get into a feel-good topic. We're talking about massage therapy, but Jackie and I are not the experts in this space, so we're not going to even try to pretend that we know all the things about massage therapy. We do have a guest backstage, Tenae Hassell. Before we bring her in, we need you to help us welcome her to the conversation by dropping your favorite good morning emojis, send her a good morning message, because I think it's time for Jackie and I to let Tenae do the talking when it comes to massage therapy, and Jackie and I just take our notes because Jackie and I definitely are going to need these keys that Tenae is going to drop. So without further ado, good morning, Tenae.
Good morning.
How are you feeling this morning?
I'm feeling good this morning. This is a bit earlier than I'm usually up, but I am enjoying it.
Perfect. So let's get started, Tenae. Let us know, what is your educational background when it comes to massage therapy?
Absolutely. So I studied at the National Holistic Institute in San Francisco, California. I graduated in 2016. So I've been massaging for almost 6 years now. And I also have a bachelor's in sports and exercise science from Bond University in Australia.
Wait, pause. Australia? Did you go to Australia?
Yeah, I went to Australia. I did my bachelor's in Australia.
You're so brave. Do you know what lives in Australia?
Between the black spiders, the killer koala bears, like what?
I was very fortunate. I was in like a very city area, so I did not experience those. The worst that I got was mosquitoes, which I did not. They used to leave bruises, welts. They were the biggest mosquitoes I've ever seen in my life. But other than that, it was a great experience.
I feel like everything is more dangerous and bigger in Australia. Like as soon as you said Australia, I was just like, I'm gonna have to like change my question line because there's so many places in the world that are safer. And you're just like, I'm gonna jump into the jungle and play with tarantulas and gators and snakes.
I was not. There's no jungle out there. I was near the rainforest, but there is no jungle. But no, it was great. Like I had a blast. I didn't go in the water, so that eliminated, sharks, jellyfish, all that stuff. I stuck to the rivers and the lakes that I'm used to. So yeah, did not do that. But yeah, I had a great time. I loved it out there. I would go back. I wouldn't live there, but I would go back.
Okay, I wouldn't live there. I do want to go, but literally just to watch tennis. So it would be like hotel, tennis, food.
It's so beautiful. Like I would really recommend it as a place to travel. I know that's not what we're talking about today, but I would definitely recommend it as a place to travel. It's beautiful.
We always go to the left, and Jackie and I actually had a conversation about traveling to Australia, and we were like, "Is a no," but you have now possibly convinced us to put it on our list.
You know that you survived all this years.
And like not even just barely survived. Like it was fine. it was absolutely fine.
You got a whole degree, so I mean, you thrive.
Yeah.
But talking about degrees, why massage therapy?
So it's a long story, I guess, but I come from. Good morning, Karen. I come from a. Good morning, Vanessa. I come from a very sports generated background. So I have a lot of athletes in my family. Football mostly is, but also cricket. So I've always just been around people getting injured, people getting hurt, and things like that. And it's always been like a big career ender for people. So my brother played football and had a back injury in high school, so he was never able to go any further with it. So I was always trying to figure out like what could I do to help people kind of extend their careers a little bit further. That's how I got interested in sports science. That's how I got interested in massage, just to find out more about how the human body works and how it can work more efficiently. So I wanted to do physio, and I wasn't sure if I'd be good at it, if that's a good way to word it. So I actually started with massage just to kind of like put my toe in the water, I guess, to be like, okay, is this something I'm interested in? Is this something I'm good at? And I fell in love with it. I absolutely love massaging. Um, I still kind of consider possibly doing physio, but I think I'm very content with where I am right now. I really, really love what I do.
Now, earlier you did answer the question about how many years you've been practicing, but I did want to come back to your school of choice. And so you did mention San Francisco and you also mentioned Australia. Like, what was it about your program at the time that made you want to go to Australia as well as San Francisco? Like, why those two places? Because those are like actually really far extremes when you think about Bermuda.
Yes, they are. I love to travel, so that's part of it. I would love to visit every continent. That's a goal of mine. So Australia's ticked off the list. But with the school that I picked in San Francisco, the massage school, I actually picked it because of the program itself. So you did a semester of Western massage, but you also did a semester of Eastern massage, which looked at like traditional Chinese medicine, how the energy flow works through the body, as well as different things like shiatsu, Thai massage. I learned that when you walk on people's backs, there's actually a particular way that you do it. I know growing up, you kind of like your daddy would like stand on my back, crack my back for me. So I kind of actually learned like where you step and how you step. And to me, that was very interesting. I kind of I do typically stick to more of the Western style when I massage now, but I always like to incorporate little tips and tricks from Eastern massage tactics into what I incorporate into what I do. So that was why I chose this school in San Francisco. Similarly, the school that I chose in Australia, it was the best program for what I wanted to do. Australia is kind of leading the industry in sports science and things like that. And the school that I went to was one of the best schools in Australia for that as well. I got to meet so many different elite athletes, work alongside of them. Particularly, I worked with the elite runners. So I was able to do a couple of races with them and just like work alongside them, understand like how they operate, what they eat, game day prep, things like that, race day prep and things like that. So I do not regret my decisions at all. I actually am really grateful that I chose to go out there.
This seems like the perfect reasons to choose schools if you're ever going to choose them. So I definitely shout out to you for that. I don't know if I would have chosen Australia for school, but it sounds like, for what you were doing. And it sounds like you did research. And I feel like people pick schools just because either someone says to go there, or Bermudians either go to Canada because everyone's going to Canada, or they go to somewhere in the US or even the UK because it's cheaper. So it sounds like you made like a really sound decision, which I think people should do if you're going to go to get higher education.
Yes.
I like what you're doing and where you're going.
Yeah, please do your research before you go.
Sorry. You started to talk about physiotherapy versus massage therapy. I just want to know what's the difference, and because you already got your certification or license in massage therapy, what are the next steps to become certified as a physiotherapist since you already have this under your belt and years of experience?
So physio is a bit more in depth than massage therapy is. So as a massage therapist, I can diagnose I can kind of give recommendations like I did with Terry that, things I've seen before, I can kind of assume this is probably what's happening, but I can't officially diagnose anybody. As well as I can't technically make their treatment plan, so I can do my treatments and things like that. But so a physio would just require, depending on where you are, some places you can get a bachelor's in physio. They didn't offer that in Australia, so which why I did the bachelor's in sports science, and I would have had to do a master's in physio. So I could still do that. I could still go get my master's, but it requires more schooling. You get a bit more in depth. They offer different treatment plans as well because they have a deeper understanding of how the body works. But I do work alongside physios right now. So, people will be going to a physio, they'll be going to a chiro, and they'll also come and see me.
That is interesting. Now, I actually have a question from the audience that I want to bring in, and I think a lot of us probably have this question, especially those of us that sit in chairs often. So Jason Shirley wants to know, do you have any tips for someone with lower back pains?
Okay, I do get this question a lot. So the number one tip that I like to tell people, right, is that a body in motion stays in motion. So it's a law of physics and it is a law of the body as well. So a lot of people, like you said, that they sit for long periods of time, they start to get lower back pain. I highly recommend people every morning when you wake up doing some sort of stretching, get your body moving. Don't just like hop up off the bed and, turn swag on like Soldier Boy said. You kind of like want to ease into your day, right? So warm yourself up. There's a lot of things you can do, like bringing your knees to your chest, kind of doing like a little windshield wiper with your knees where you kind of go side to side, things like that. So you think like, okay, an athlete needs to warm up, but all of our bodies are the same bodies that an athlete has. So you kind of have to warm up into your day is what I recommend. I also highly recommend people getting up from their chair once an hour. Set an alarm on your phone if you have to, because I know like I have clients that are, accountants and things like that. They sit for 8 hours a day, get up every hour, go walk if you're in the office, go walk, get a cup of water. If you're at home, like walk into the kitchen, do a couple laps around your counter or something, and then go sit back down. But yeah, a body in motion stays in motion. So pain is just your body trying to convey a message. So if you're getting lower back pain, it's basically letting your body know that, hey, something's not moving right in here.
That's interesting. Now, he did say that he doesn't sit at work. He's constantly moving during the day. He's just old. So maybe it's not something we can help with per se, but I feel like those were very solid tips.
So like I said, like warming up before you go through the day. So making sure that you're getting your stretching in. Stretching is something that you should do every day. I know it's very difficult to require of most people, but you should stretch every day and your whole body, but especially focusing on your back. Lower back pain is probably the number one issue that people deal with. And a lot of people, it actually comes from tightness in their hips, not necessarily actually anything involved in their back. So a lot of people will stretch their back and saying like, I'm not getting any relief. And you find if you start to stretch like your glute muscles, your piriformis, which is like a deeper muscle in your like underneath your glutes. If you start to stretch those muscles, you start to feel some relief in your back.
These are pro tips that I will be taking to
My
grade.
favorite glute stretch is the one where you're on the ground and one leg is making the owl shape, I guess, and the other back leg is straight. And
oh yeah.
Wiggle on it. That's my favorite. If you guys do it, I just want to say, I don't have a piece of paper, but you put your right leg out in front and like a bent position.
Like a supine twist kind of
it's called a figure 4 stretch if you would like to look it up.
Yeah, that one.
Actually, I'm like, what is she talking about? The figure 4 is the best stretch. It is the best stretch.
It's so good. Like I sit in it, and if by chance I'm too tight and I can't get down on the floor, I'll find a wall and then I'll stand and I'll put my leg up on the wall. So my cord is sitting on the wall, and then
you can even sit in a chair and just cross your leg over and kind of lean forward until you feel it as well. If you can't, if you're sitting at your desk and you can't get on the floor, or if you're busy, you can also do that while you're standing. You can just cross one leg over the other and kind of sit it down almost like you're sitting in a chair, and it kind of stretches those muscles for you.
I like the lazy version where you're on the ground.
There's always alternatives to everything.
Modifications, Jack. Modifications.
Modifications. There we go.
Tenae, just want to take a quick break and let you know that you finishing your sentences with lyrics is right up my alley. That is my
That's how my brain works.
I am thinking the same thing, Terri. But I know you have tried to specify Western techniques and stuff, but I just want you, can you give us a list of different types of massage therapy that you do, different techniques that you use?
Absolutely. So I incorporate, so I kind of call myself a medical massage therapist. I don't specialize in any one thing. I kind of take everything and give everybody their own custom massage. I like to say that I never give the same massage twice, not even to the same person. So kind of Western styles that I do, you have Swedish, you have deep tissue. Deep tissue is probably the number one favorite of most people. Hot stone, aromatherapy, all of those kind of things incorporated into one, as well as my mentor, the Tuna, which is a type of Chinese medicine. So he's been teaching me some different movements and things like that. What it really is, what a lot of the Eastern is kind of the flexibility and mobility. So a lot of stretching, pushing and pulling, just to kind of get the flow of energy to translate through the body properly. So what ends up happening is, depending on who you talk to, and it's true on both sides, once things get blocked up in your body, you start to not be able to move properly. And when you're not able to move properly, you get pain. So the Eastern teaches us that that's an energy disruption, whereas the Western teaches us that it's an anatomy disruption. So you might have knots, you might have activated trigger points, things like that. So I like to use a little bit of the Eastern to kind of find where those body parts are, or where those blockages are, and then kind of incorporate the Western into it to kind of get rid of that for you. My sister likes to say that I listen to the ancestors to find out. People are always like, how did you know where to go? And so thanks to her, I now tell them I listen to the ancestors.
Yes, ancestors.
Now you touched a little bit on assessments just now, Tenae, but can you maybe go a little bit deeper into like what the intake process is, and like when you work with someone for the first time? Because I know the process because I've been a client, but for those that
Right.
don't know, can you share like a little bit about your intake process?
Absolutely. So I do give a quick intake form. It just kind of goes into like quick medical history. Then from there, I can find out if somebody's had surgeries, if they've had fractures, if they've had falls. Those are really important to kind of understand if there's anything that is disrupting what's going on in the natural flow of the body. But the number one thing that I do, and not all of my clients kind of understand why I do it, I like to ask a lot of questions. So the first time that you come and see me, I'm going to ask you, what do you do for a living? What do you do for, like, what hobbies do you have? Do you exercise? If you exercise, what type of exercise do you do? If you don't exercise, what do you do during the day? Do you stretch at all? Those types of questions, because you kind of start to understand. And I do, and there's some of those questions are on my intake form as well. And some people are like, well, I already answered this. But what ends up happening is that when somebody tells me, oh, I said, ask them, what do you do for a living, right? So they might say, like, I sit at a computer all day, but they'll kind of mimic how they sit at their computer. And I can kind of get an understanding, okay, they spend a lot of time kind of in this position, right? And then I'll ask them, like, where is your keyboard located? Is it kind of high? Is it a bit lower? Do you have a standing desk? And from there, I kind of understand the person as a whole and the different things that incorporate into that person. So if they tell me I play football, I'm like, okay, well, do you, most Bermudians do not stretch that play football. So, I asked them, when was the last time you stretched? When was the last time you played? Were you kicked? Things like that. So my intake process, the first, it is only like 5 minutes, but it can feel a bit like an interview because I'm trying to understand who my client is outside of my office, right? So everybody's relaxed. I like to make it a nice calming environment. So it's very relaxed in my office. But outside of that, who are you? Do you have kids? Are they young? Is your job stressful? Is your job fun? Like, so I kind of ask not a lot of questions, but enough questions to kind of get a understanding of who my client is.
And that's perfect because I feel like if people, because I think a lot of us kind of take for granted that we get into the massage mood. And so we're already kind of like relaxed. So we're not even really thinking about the fact that there's so much things that kind of go into the pain that we may feel in our shoulder or in our lower back or in our hips. So I definitely think I can say, as someone who went to Tenae recently, it didn't feel like that long. Idea kind of was like, all right, because I'm just ready to get on the table. At first, in my mind, like was like, that's what I'm here for. However, hearing the reasoning why and knowing that it didn't take that long, I'm like, it's not as bad as you think it will be. It's really not. And it's for your benefit at the end of the day. It's really not for her to just sit there and actually make questions.
Yeah, and it makes the massage better because then I can go straight to the areas that you need help with. So when people, I mean, some people choose not to, give too detailed of answers. They're like, I don't really know you. You don't need to know what I do in my free time. So, then I kind of have to explore and find those spots. So kind of when I have an understanding, so people that work at long hours at their office and things like that, they kind of have spots that you can kind of understand, okay, if I go, I know it's going to be some issues in here. So let me start here and then work my way out.
And that makes perfect sense. I want to bring in this question from an audience member because this is actually an interesting question. I don't know if I've ever experienced this, but in case someone else in the audience has, Karen Simmons asks, why do I get bruised when I get deep tissue massages? I just had a stem massage this weekend and no bruising. So can you maybe speak to why someone would bruise versus why they wouldn't bruise?
There's a few reasons why somebody might bruise during deep tissue. Some people bruise easily. I'm that type of person. I can knock into a chair and it will leave a bruise. So I bruise very easily. Deep tissue, a proper deep tissue. So you have, if you go to like a spa and you ask for deep tissue, what they give you is like a deep version of a Swedish massage, right? So they call it like a deep Swedish. An actual deep tissue massage will more than likely bruise because what you're getting is you're going past that kind of first layer of skin, kind of working really deep into the muscle. So anytime you kind of get deep into the muscle, you could get, a little bit of, when you say blood vessels breaking, it sounds bad, but that's really all a bruise is like a damaged blood vessel. So it is quite possible with a real true deep tissue that it could leave some bruising. If you've had cupping, it's kind of a similar experience where cupping will definitely leave a bruise on you. So hot stone probably wouldn't go as deep, so that I could see how that could not cause a bruise. But a real deep tissue, it's like elbow into the table. It's definitely common for people to leave bruised.
That's interesting because I definitely would have thought it was like I don't think I bruise easily, so I haven't had any experience with bruising, and I knock on wood because I don't want to. Unless I got a deep tissue, then I wouldn't be upset because now Tenae has told me it's normal, it's fine. I would have been getting back to my masseuse like, yo, why did you beat me up?
Kind of have to anticipate a little bit of soreness also after deep tissue, which not everybody knows. So bruising and soreness after deep tissue is very common, especially for like the first 1 to 2 days afterwards.
That's why they tell you drink lots of water.
It is why they tell you drink lots of water, yes.
Now, Tenae, this has been a great conversation. One last question before we wrap it up and we send you on your beautiful day. It's our weekend, so we're going to just include you in that. It's your weekend too. Where are you located? Where can we find you? Contact information, all things to find you and sign up with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm located in town in the mechanics building on the 3rd floor. So it's inside a chiropractic office called Spine and Sport Bermuda. So if you did Google Maps or anything, Spine and Sport Bermuda, it is right across from City Hall parking lot. You can email me. My email is tenae.hassell. So if you see it there, tenae.hassell@gmail.com. You can call 332-0246, 332-0246. As well as if you just want to kind of find out a little bit more about who I am and my background, I do have a website. So it's natiestuina.com. So it's nathistuina.com. And I have booking online too. A lot of people really appreciate that. So you don't have to talk to me to book an appointment. You can go ahead, look at my schedule and book yourself in.
Now, talking to Tenae is fine. Honestly, everything that she just described is perfect because I actually reached out to her prior to going to say, like, hey, this is what my issue is. I don't really know if I should do this or what I should do. Like, is it something you can help with? So she was very helpful before I even like booked with her. So 10 out of 10, gold stars all around. I'll do a Yelp review if they have it for Bermudians because I don't even know if Bermudians use Yelp. I should go on Mod's list and do it.
Just one more thing. A lot of people think that, like I kind of only do athletes. I do everybody. So even if you don't have pain, if you just kind of want to, feel a little bit better, a massage helps relieve anxiety. It helps with depression. It helps, especially right now with COVID, it helps kind of get through those little blues. It is starting to get warmer. So, seasonal depression is starting to lift. It's great to kind of boost your mood a little bit. It helps with immunity. But then it also does help, pain, any sorts of things like that. I am well versed in if you have any medical issues and things like that. More so than a spa, I kind of have a lot of background on that. I have clients that are wheelchair bound. I have clients that are walker bound. So I am there is a kind of a wide net of people that I can have. It's not just for athletes. It's not just people who work out. It's for everybody. We all have a body and we all need to take better care of it.
I love that. That's a perfect way to wrap up. And it's also a perfect way for us to know that we need to bring you back to continue this conversation because I feel like we could have gotten even deeper into the conversation. But thank you so much for joining us bright and early today, again, a little bit earlier on your Thursday.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome. We'll talk soon.
All right.
Bye. Jack and I are going to take a quick commercial break, and then we'll be back with our Feel Good Vibe of the day, which is actually a special one today because it's someone in the audience's birthday. So make sure you stick around for that Feel Good Vibe and let us know your comments or your thoughts on our conversation with Tenae in the comment section below because Jack and I will be right back after this commercial break.
Same smooth sounds, different name. BCG Radio, home of Bermuda's most engaging morning talk shows, The Daily Hour and Good Day Bermuda. Download the app available for Android and Apple devices. BCG Radio, your station for conversations and entertainment.
Welcome back to Good Day Bermuda, supported by Pizza House and Aliana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Tuku alongside Jackie Lambert. If you're just joining us, we wrapped our conversation with Tenae Hassell, who is a massage therapist who does all the things for all the people. She doesn't just specialize in athletes and those of us that like to work out. She does help all types of people because, as she said, everybody has a body, which I think is a perfect way to kind of like sum massage therapy up because I do feel like some people box it into some type of whether it's for sports or it's for self-care. It's not just like, maybe you should just take care of your body by way of giving it a little massage.
Be preventative, like deal with it before. I like that.
Absolutely.
Most times we're just like, okay, so I did this, fix it versus prevent it. And it sounded to me like a great way to release toxins because, we're all on that like get better, health, wealth, and all that.
Detox life, yeah.
I was like, hold on, I could detox while getting the toxins massaged out of me. I love that excuse. I'm here for it.
As I said, whether you're an athlete, a fitness junkie, or you're just looking for an excuse to take better care of yourself, this was a conversation you should have tapped into. And if you didn't, don't worry, we're definitely going to have Tenae back. Jackie and I love a little mental health conversation, but physical health is just as important. And we know that physical health tends to be a little bit easier for people to kind of grasp. So we got your back. Don't worry about that. Looks like Karen Simmons is going to be booking with Tenae soon. 10 out of 10 recommend. I am 10 out of 10 in case you didn't realize. And Betty Jean Gilbert says, great interview. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Jack, without further ado, for those of you that don't know, if you joined a little bit later on in the show, one of our audience members, Jason Surley, today is his birthday. So Jackie is going to sing him her rendition of Happy Birthday. I am going to be the dancer in the background, and we're going to get the vibe.
Okay, so I'll just do a regular. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, DJ Charles. Happy birthday to you. Hey!
Like I should put a little naming in the picky. That's it. As always, Jackie and I hope that today's Feel Good Vibe of the day has you ready to make it a great one. If it is your birthday or someone's birthday coming up, always let us know in the comments. We would love to change up our feel good vibe and have Jackie sing them happy birthday, because you're not gonna get me to sing them happy birthday. But I'll definitely do the dancing in the little ending part for you. Make sure that you guys have a great day. Thank you so much for watching and engaging with this episode of Good Day Bermuda, supported by P-Tels and Ariana's Restaurant. I'm Terri Suku alongside Jackie Lambert. We trust we'll see you next week. Jackie and I are not live on Friday nor Wednesday, so next week, Tuesday, Jackie and I will be back with more feel good conversations. Until the next episode, peace and have a good day, Bermuda.